All right, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to set up some basic activities within Smart Notebook. So on your computer, you will have the Smart Notebook icon. If not, you can search in your computer for Notebook 1.5. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to look at a screen like this. Now think of your Smart Notebook as a presentation. Like you have in Google Slides or in PowerPoint, you're going to have your different slides off to the side that you are creating and you are working on. And that is the same for Smart Notebook. If you notice, there's a couple of tools that I want to show you. If you notice right here, I have one slide that I'm working with. If I want to add another, I simply hit the little icon with the plus sign, and notice that it is highlighted, so that would be the page that I would actually be working on at the time. If I want to delete a page, I can simply highlight the page by clicking on it that I want to delete and hit the little icon with the X on it. And there you go. So the first thing we're going to do today is I'm going to show you just some basic ways that you can use the Smartboard. Right up in the top, you have your toolbar. If you want to change your background color to a solid color, you would simply go to Format, Page, Set Background Fill, and then you could choose what color. You could pick a solid fill, you could pick a gradient fill, you could pick a pattern fill, you could pick an image fill, you could put a picture as your background. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this nice blue color. Then what I want to do is I want to make a simple sorting, grouping activity. So I am going to, if you notice right up here, you have your arrow, and that is your mouse, okay? So as you're working with your Smartboard, and if every time you hit on the Smartboard to change the page or to click on a link and you keep putting ink on the Smartboard, then you probably still have your pens highlighted. You need to be back in this. This is your mouse mode, okay? What I'm doing right now is I am going to type in some text. By clicking on this A, you can see that this opens up and it gives me a variety of colors to choose from. If it doesn't open up, all you have to do is come over to the very left toolbar and you'll be able to pull this through. Here I have my different fonts. Now I've got the circle of death here. I have my different fonts, and I am going to pick, let's pick chalkboard. And here I can pick my size of my font, and I can pick my color. So right now what I'm going to do is I am just simply going to double click, and I'm going to say long A sound, and then I'm going to double click to the side, and I'm going to put short A sound. Now, I probably am going to want to rearrange, and I probably will want my short A on the left side of my page. So all I do is I double click on it, and I'm going to look for, see this little crosshair toggle? I'm going to look for that, and when I find it, I'm going to drag it over, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And my long A sound. Now, I don't want the students to be able to move these two headings. I want them to be locked in place. So if you notice right up here, well, let me show you this first. This is your rotation, so you can rotate. This is how you would make it bigger or smaller, okay? And right up here, you're going to have your little toolbox. And by clicking on it, you can lock it into place. So what that means is your students will not be able to move these headings. If you want to unlock it, simply double click on it and find your little arrow and then click on lock and then hit unlock. And then you would be able to move it around. Okay, and so what we're going to do down here is we're simply just going to add some words. Maybe add a couple of kiddos that are in your classroom. for fun. And what I want to do basically is I would just add them down at the bottom. And what your students would do is they would come up and they would choose the word and they would move it where it needed to be. It is much easier when you're actually working on the smartboard because then the kids are able to move it. Okay? I have seen teachers be able to set up their morning routine, whether it's hot lunch, tray lunch, or whether it's a sack lunch, and the students drag their name where it needs to be. I've even had teachers do different numbers so they can keep the same one year after year. If you're wanting to delete, you simply, just like you would with regular text, you would highlight and you would hit delete, and now it's gone. Okay? If you're wanting to take a couple of names, let me add something else and kind of show you. Another thing you can do is you can actually create graphic organizers, so you can create a Venn diagram. So let's click on our toolbar up at the top that has your circles. Let's pick a circle here, and let's draw the circle. There we go. That's a nice size circle. Now notice if I click on the, notice how when I clicked on the inside, I have little dots showing because I need to go back to my mouse, okay? And to get rid of, all I would do is I click on the eraser. Well, I can't do that because that's with the pen. So what I would do is go back to the mouse, double click, and delete. Double click on this and then delete. So what I'm going to do is, if you notice out here, I have no interaction with the circle. But if I find those little crosshairs and if I click on it, you'll see my box. Once again, here is my making it bigger. I can lock it in place. Right now, I'm going to drag it down so I can see it. And what I want to do is I want to make a copy of this box because I want to make a Venn diagram. So by highlighting the box, I can do one of two things. I can go up to Edit and Copy, or I can hit Control-C or Command-C, depending on the type of computer you have. Then I can hit Command-V or Control-V, and now I've got a circle of the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my circles, and I'm going to position them how I want them to look, so I have a Venn diagram, okay? But now what I want to do is I want to kind of group these two circles together so that they always work as one. I took two circles, and now I'm going to make them as one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a text box over, and notice now I have both boxes, both circles highlighted, and I'm going to come over to the little arrow, and I'm going to say group. And what it's going to do is now it's going to group both of these as one, okay? And I could take this, I could double click on it, I could lock it in place so that the students couldn't move it, and I could add different words or different sentences or phrases within my Venn diagram. So these are just a couple of things that you can do. Something that I did want to show you, I'm going to add another page, is your gallery over on the side. Your gallery is going to be a very important tool because this is where they have 5,000 pictures that you can enter. You have notebook files, you have templates. So if you're wanting to work with this dot page, like if you're wanting to do geoboard activities, you can definitely use this. If you want to get rid of it and search for something else, there's tons of writing templates. If I put lined paper, gotta get rid of that first. If I put lined paper, then I should be able to find some different lined papers, like for handwriting. Here's the lined paper, just double click on it. And now my students have lined paper to work on. I know for my younger grades, foundations, if you go into the Smart Exchange and you access their site, then you can actually type in foundations and it'll bring you lots of activities that have already been created for teachers on Smart Notebook, and it'll give you their writing templates, and it'll give you lots of other activities. But I would highly recommend checking out Smart Exchange. You can search for standards aligned activities. You can search by countries. You can search by grade levels. You can search by subject areas. You can even search by your state standards. Where is Missouri? Here's the Missouri curriculum frameworks, and then you could pick grade 3, and then you could pick communication arts, and you can view. And these are activities that have been uploaded by other teachers in Missouri that help meet these particular standards. So you could view the resources, you can click to preview. If you like it, you can download it onto your computer and then open it up on your computer and be able to use for whatever needs you need in your classroom. So I hope you found this helpful. I am more than happy to help anybody that needs further assistance. Like I said, this was just a brief overview of what you could do with the Smartboard.